Jay. So congratulations on the film. Tell us a little bit about, obviously you have a little bit of a connection to this. Talk a little bit about why you wanted to get involved with Call Me Dancer.
Yeah, of course. When I actually got sent the initial first sort of rough edit draft of the movie, when they asked me, if I would like to be involved, honestly, I was immediately impressed by the cinematography. Like this is like a docu film, but shot so beautifully, it didn't feel like your classic sort of documentary. It was just very cinematic and had that elegant feel to it. And it was very real and honest and, a story that I can relate to because it's the Rocky Balboa story, and that's what it is to me. The little guy who has a big dream and, goes against all odds to chase that dream. And I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to. But I personally went through that myself, being, a South Asian, the first South Asian to cross over mainstream and have the kind of success that I had when I should have been pursuing a medical degree. And so to me, it just resonated. And I was like, okay, I really love where this is going. And I wanted to get involved. And that's how it came about.
Now, did you at some point you got to meet the subjects, Amir and Manish? Talk a little bit about what you thought when you met them.
Manish is such a sweet guy, man. So respectful, down to earth, polite. And, these are the kind of traits that I actually think are what a star is made of. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, of course, his talent is undeniable. He's an incredible dancer, but his charisma was something that really shone for me when I met him in person. And I immediately loved him meeting in person, as I'd watched the movie and was already drawn to the guy. But, when I saw him in person, it was just, he's a very, very lovely guy.
Yeah, yeah. And talk a little bit about, what is it, maybe from your personal experience about, Indian families not wanting their sons, and maybe in particular, to pursue these artistic careers. Well, talk a little maybe about your own experience and how that related to what these guys went through.
I mean, I'm glad you asked that question because, the amount of times I've been asked, in my career, which is now 20 years, and I'm still getting asked this question. So, Jay, how did your parents feel about you quitting medicine and going into music? And I'm like, how many times have I addressed this? But it clearly goes to show that there is not one actual answer, because my answer would just be, actually, they were supportive. But what they want to hear is, no, they hated it. And, I had to go against all odds and then finally won my parents over. Mine was a little bit different, but I can answer the general question for why I think a lot of Indian families, or should I say just sort of South Asian families, because I can only speak for them, would be more inclined to encourage their children to go into academia rather than the arts, is quite simple. It's because their forefathers, or they themselves, had to leave their motherland, come to the West in hopes of creating a better life for not only themselves, but mainly for their children. And my grandfather, for example, came over from India, had to leave his family of 5 kids and his wife behind in India for 3 years in order to come to England, where his brother-in-law had moved and got a job, in order to make a little more money and send it back to India for the family. And, really, he was grinding. And only after 3 years of being separated from his family could he afford to bring them over, and then sort of give them this better life that he had dreamt of for his family. So after going through all of that hardship and leaving your family behind, the last thing they want to hear once their kids grow up is like, hey, Dad, I want to be an actor. They're going to be like, you better shut up, get a good job, go to Cambridge University, become a doctor or a lawyer or something that is a career, a profession, as opposed to something that maybe, and most likely is by most people, considered a very fickle job. What are the odds of actually making it as a dancer, actually making it as a singer, actually making it as an actor. They don't want their kids to struggle the way they did. And that's probably the reason why I think that stereotype exists.
Yeah. Were you able to give Manish any advice in his career?
We didn't really we didn't get onto that kind of topic. But you know, all I try to do when I meet people who have dared to travel the path less, you know, to travel the path less traveled, should I say, walk the path less traveled, is you're going to come against obstacles. And there might not be people before you who have come across those obstacles to tell you how they overcame them and therefore pass that advice on to you. So it might not be easy, this path that you're on, but you've got this far. And if you've got this far, you clearly have what it takes to get over these small hurdles to that final goal that you want to reach. And so what I try to do is encourage them and say, you know what, so proud of you, man. Well done. I can't believe what success you've made already. I know there's amazing things to come for you, you know, and enjoy it. Never forget to enjoy it, because these are the reasons we enter the arts, as opposed to people, you know, so many of my friends have great jobs, but, you know, can't wait to come home after work and forget about their job. The last thing they want to do is then work on it more in their free time. People in the arts work on it all the time because it's their biggest passion. So never lose that love for it. And these are the kind of things that that I would tell him.
Sure. Is there a scene for you in the film that spoke to you the most, and why?
Not a particular scene. I think what really got me was when he had to be away in order to then take, because then it became very real. Then it's like you're away from home. You're not in the, you don't have the luxury of just going back home and giving mum a cuddle and getting mum to make you some food and, you know, sit in front of the, you know, do whatever with you, play with your friends. You don't get to do any of that. You have to leave everything you've once known, all those little comforts behind. And now it's real. And it's like, oh, you wanted this? There you go. Let's see what you got, you know? And I think that for me is the heart of the story, is that, yes, you can have a dream, but when someone gives you the opportunity, are you willing to actually grasp it with both hands? And are you willing to, despite how much you miss what was once just easy and home for you, in order to get this goal, which seems so unattainable to most? That's why I think a lot of people fail, is because they're not willing to go that far.
Mm. As an executive producer, what is your role? I mean, are you a cheerleader, a promoter of the film? What? Tell us a little bit about that as a job.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been very fortunate to be involved in various aspects of the movie, when it comes to tone, when it comes to, especially mainly from the music perspective. Obviously, it's a song. It's a movie based around dancing. You can't then not have a soundtrack and certain key songs that don't make that come alive, you know. And I think that's where I was able to lend, you know, my expertise of 20 years in the music industry to the wonderful directors and editors of the movie, to be able to be like, hey, I think like this bit should really go with this part of the song, because that's where the song builds up to a crescendo, and it would really match that part of the movie where this happens. And I think those small little things were really helpful to all of us involved, but B, allowed me to, you know, because I'm doing music videos, God knows how many music videos I've done. That's what I look for always. You don't just have a random part of the you know, a random part of the music video over, you know, the most dramatic crescendo part of the song. So I can instantly see that, almost like the eyes of an editor. So that was where I was able to help it a lot, I think.
Thanks for watching the YouInterview channel. With over 3,000 original celebrity videos, we have one of the largest collections of celebrity interviews anywhere. So remember to like and comment on our videos and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get more involved, you can become a member of the channel. Membership has its perks. You can see exclusive celebrity videos
and get the opportunity to ask our celebrity guests questions. We can't wait to hear from you.